Imagine going to sleep tonight. 8 hours pass, you wake up, and for the first time in your life, your brain never dreamed. No weird adventures, no flying, no nightmares, nothing. Sounds peaceful until scientists tell you that's actually a terrible sign. What if the strangest thing your brain does every night is actually one of the most important? Could losing your dreams slowly change your memory, your emotions, even your personality? Let's find out. Here's something almost nobody realizes. You probably think dreams are optional, like bonus content after a movie. They're not. Your brain spends nearly 2 hours every single night dreaming, even if you remember absolutely none of it. Which raises an even bigger question. If dreams are so important, why do we forget almost all of them? Imagine spending 2 hours every night watching the greatest movie ever made. Then, the moment the credits roll, someone erases your memory every single night. That's basically what your brain does. Scientists estimate most people forget around 95% of their dreams within just a few minutes of waking up. It's like your brain says. But here's where it gets weird. Even if you can't remember dreaming, your brain still knows it happened. It's a little like deleting your browser history. The websites were still visited. The evidence is just gone. Which means dreaming isn't about entertainment. It's doing something much bigger. But what? To answer that, we need to meet one of the strangest parts of sleep. It's called REM sleep. That stands for rapid eye movement. While you're lying completely still, your eyes start darting around behind your eyelids. Your heart rate changes. Your breathing becomes irregular, and your brain becomes almost as active as when you're fully awake. Wait, yeah, if your brain is awake, why aren't you? Because your brain pulls a very clever trick. It temporarily switches off most of your muscles. Seriously. For a short time, you're basically paralyzed. Sounds terrifying, until you realize why. Imagine dreaming you're running from a dinosaur. Without that temporary paralysis, you'd probably sprint straight through your bedroom wall, or accidentally punch your sleeping partner because dream you was fighting pirates. So now we know something surprising. Dreaming isn't random. Your brain deliberately creates dreams, while temporarily disconnecting your body, even though you'll probably forget everything by breakfast. That seems like an enormous amount of work, which raises the biggest question yet. Why would evolution spend millions of years protecting something you'll never remember? Because what dreams are actually doing is far more important than anyone imagined. Think about this. Your brain uses nearly 20% of your body's total energy. That's a huge amount, especially considering it only makes up about 2% of your body weight. So here's the question. Why would evolution waste even more energy creating dreams you'll never remember? The answer, it probably doesn't. Scientists now believe dreaming isn't a bug, it's a feature. Imagine your brain as a massive office building. During the day, thousands of emails arrive. Names, faces, passwords, that embarrassing thing you said in a meeting, the lyrics to a song you'll somehow remember for 10 years. By nighttime, everything is a complete mess. Dreaming is when the cleaning crew shows up. While you're asleep, your brain starts sorting information. What's useful? Keep it. What's useless? Delete it. What needs to connect with older memories? Move it into long-term storage. Scientists call this memory consolidation. Basically, your brain spends the night organizing yesterday, so you can survive tomorrow. Here's proof. Researchers have repeatedly found that people who sleep after learning something new usually remember it better than people who stay awake. One famous study from Harvard Medical School showed that sleep, especially REM sleep, helps strengthen newly learned skills and memories. It's like hitting save instead of close without saving. Imagine studying 6 hours for an exam, only to click don't save. That's what skipping quality REM sleep can be like for your brain. But memory isn't even the weirdest part, because dreams don't just store information. They actually remix it. Ever dreamed your teacher was driving a spaceship while your dog was giving you math homework? Congratulations! Your brain just created the world's lowest budget Marvel crossover. Ridiculous, absolutely. Random? Not exactly. Scientists think dreams help your brain connect ideas that normally wouldn't meet. Old memories, new experiences, random emotions. That's one reason many artists, musicians, and inventors have discovered ideas after sleeping. In fact, the famous chemist Auguste Kekule said the idea for the ring-shaped structure of the benzene molecule came after a dream about a snake biting its own tail. One dream changed chemistry forever. Researchers studying creativity have found that REM sleep can improve people's ability to solve problems that require unusual connections. In other words, your sleeping brain can sometimes be more creative than your awake brain. Imagine hiring the smartest employee in the world, then forcing them to work only while you're unconscious. That's basically what's happening every night. So dreams help organize memories, and they might even make you more creative. Pretty impressive. But here's something even stranger. Scientists now believe dreams could also be acting like free therapy. Seriously. Every single night, your brain may be quietly repairing your emotions without charging you a single dollar. But what happens? If that emotional repair system suddenly disappears forever, that's where things start getting scary. Imagine the worst day of your life. Now imagine tomorrow. It hurts just as much. Next week. Still the same. 10 years later. Nothing has faded. Sounds impossible. Your dreams might be the reason that doesn't happen. Most people think sleep is just turning your brain off. It's not. Your brain's actually working the night shift. And one of its biggest jobs is taking the emotional sting out of yesterday. Think of dreams like your brain's therapist, except this therapist never cancels appointments, never judges you, and somehow works for free. During REM sleep, something fascinating happens. Levels of a stress chemical called norepinephrine drop dramatically. At the same time, your brain quietly replays emotional memories, but this time, without the full blast of fear or anxiety. It's almost like watching a horror movie with the volume turned way down. Same movie, completely different experience. Researchers at the University of California, Berkeley discovered something remarkable. People who got healthy REM sleep often woke up feeling less emotionally affected by difficult experiences from the day before. The memory stayed, but the emotional pain became weaker. Scientists even call this idea sleep to remember, sleep to forget. Remember the event. Forget some of the suffering. That's an incredible deal. Now imagine, your brain loses that ability. Every embarrassing moment still feels fresh. Every breakup still hurts like yesterday. Every awkward text you accidentally sent keeps replaying in full HD forever. Suddenly, dreams don't sound so useless anymore. But here's where things become even stranger. Scientists have found that people with disorders affecting REM sleep are more likely to struggle with emotional regulation. Researchers are still studying exactly how dreaming contributes to mental health, but there is growing evidence that disrupted REM sleep is linked with conditions such as depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. The relationship is complex, and scientists are still working to understand cause and effect. In other words, dreams may be helping your emotional health, even when you don't realize it. So if dreaming disappeared forever, your brain wouldn't suddenly stop working. You'd still sleep. You'd still wake up. You'd still go to work. Probably complain about Mondays, but deep inside, something important would slowly begin to break. Your memories might become harder to organize, your emotions harder to process, your creativity a little dimmer every year, not overnight, but little by little. And yet, here's the biggest mystery of all. If dreams are really this important, why don't some people seem to stop dreaming entirely? Believe it or not, there are real people whose dreams almost disappeared, and what scientists discovered about them changed the way we think about the sleeping brain. Here's something that shocked scientists. Some people actually stop dreaming, or at least they stop remembering dreams almost completely. So, did they become perfectly fine? Not exactly. In the early 1980s, neurologists began studying patients who had damage to specific parts of the brain involved in dreaming. One famous patient suffered a stroke affecting areas linked to dream generation. Afterward, he reported something unbelievable. His dreams simply stopped. Night after night, nothing. It wasn't just fewer dreams. They were gone. Talk. Here's the strange part. The patient could still walk, read, recognize people, even solve everyday problems. From the outside, he looked perfectly normal, but something invisible had disappeared. One of the brain's oldest nightly routines. Scientists realized dreaming wasn't just random entertainment. It depended on very specific brain circuits. Think about your smartphone. It still turns on. You can still make calls, send messages, browse the internet. But imagine, every night, it skips every software update. At first, you wouldn't notice. Months later, things start getting weird. Apps crash, battery drains faster, performance slowly declines. Your brain may work in a surprisingly similar way. Now let's zoom out. Why would evolution spend hundreds of millions of years preserving something as bizarre as dreams? Imagine you're one of our ancient ancestors. No hospitals, no supermarkets, no Google Maps. Just forests, predators, and constant danger. One mistake could end your entire family tree. Literally. Because if you didn't survive, neither would your future descendants, including you. Some scientists think dreams acted like a survival simulator. Instead of practicing dangerous situations in real life, your brain practiced them safely while you slept. Running from predators, finding shelter, escaping enemies, preparing for tomorrow without risking your life today. It's almost like evolution invented virtual reality about 300 million years before electricity. So, what happens if you stop dreaming forever? You probably won't wake up a completely different person. But over time, your brain may lose one of its most important maintenance systems. Dreams appear to help strengthen memories, support creativity, process emotions, and perhaps even prepare you for challenges you haven't faced yet. The weirdest part? You spend about 6 years of your life dreaming, and you'll remember only a tiny fraction of it. So tonight, when your brain starts creating another strange adventure, maybe don't wish it away, because the most bizarre thing your mind does every night might also be one of the smartest. Here's a question for you. If scientists invented a pill that could permanently stop dreaming, would you take it? At first, it sounds tempting. No nightmares, no bizarre dreams where you're giving a presentation in your underwear. But after everything you've learned today, would it really be worth the risk? Let me know your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed exploring one of the brain's greatest mysteries, subscribe for more fascinating What Happens If videos. Because sometimes the strangest questions reveal the most incredible truths about being human.